So 21st Century Scholars, what is it? So basically, for the program, students have to complete the Scholar Success Program while they're in high school. I'll get into more detail on that on another slide. Graduate from an Indiana high school with at least a 2.5 on a 4.0 scale. And parents, let me tell you what that means too for your students. High middle school, every grading semester, your GPA starts over. With the high school GPA, your freshman year, that's when your GPA begins. And from there, it's either going to go up or it's going to go down. And so your freshman year, parents and students, that's when your child establishes their GPA. So again, let's just say your son or daughter has a tough year. Let's just say the second semester, so basically spring of their freshman year in high school. So basically, they got those next 3 years to bring that GPA up or again to tank again. And once you tank that GPA, it is a climb out of that hole to get that GPA back up. So parents, just know the freshman year of your student's high school year is very important because again, that GPA can either build or it can take a nosedive. And once it takes, know that in high school, your GPA, it stays with you all those 4 years. And again, we hope that students build on that GPA. Also, file that dreaded FAFSA by that April 15th deadline. And the good thing, parents, though, about the FAFSA is that it's opening earlier now. So it used to be that the FAFSA opened after January. And so now the FAFSA opens in October. So let's just do the FAFSA for your child's senior year, the better. Because within the FAFSA is what we call what universities and colleges call is institutional aid. That is usually the first aid to go first. So again, it's those students that complete that FAFSA the earliest that have the best chance of getting more money, especially those aid dollars that belong to whatever college or university your child is trying to go to. And again, their senior year, applying to an eligible college or university their senior year while they're in high school. And also do not use illegal drugs, alcohol, commit a crime, drink before the legal drinking age, all that good stuff. So basically, we want you guys to stay out of trouble with IMPD, state police, whomever. So really having a lapse in judgment for something silly really could cost you 4 years of education, okay? Won't spend a. So what does it do? So 21st Century Scholars, again, it pays up to 100% tuition at an eligible college or university. And so it pays partial tuition at a private or proprietary college. So see, I'm trying to speak with these aligners in. So basically, parents with those private institutions. So basically, parents, your public institutions are your schools like, I'm a proud graduate of Indiana University. So that is one of a state-funded school. Your Purdue Universities, your Ball State, your Indiana State, Ball State. Those are basically state-funded institutions. Once you get into private institutions like Notre Dame, Butler, Marian College, those are all privately funded colleges. And so those are not funded by the state of Indiana. So basically, let's just say tuition at Purdue University is $40,000. So basically with that, with 21st Century Scholars, 21st Century Scholars is going to pay that $40,000 in tuition for your child, okay? Let's just say your child wants to go to Butler University. Again, Butler University is a private institution. So the tuition there is $60,000. If your child is a 21st Century Scholars, that means that they're going to get that base pay of that $40,000, which is basically the equivalent of a state-funded school. So you're going to be looking for more scholarship money or different aids to cover that additional $20,000, again, that costs at a private institution. Again, pays for tuition and regularly access fees. And parents, room and board, basically the dormitory that your child would live in, food and different things like that is not covered under 21st Century Scholars, okay? So again, while 21st Century Scholars is a very generous scholarship, but it only covers tuition only. So that is not books, that's not room and board, and again, the meals that they're provided while they're at college. Again, it's for their first degree, their first bachelor's degree or associate's degree if they are attending Ivy Tech Community College. And also parents, they have to access the scholarship within 1 year graduating. So again, let's use the example of the graduating class of 2021. So basically, once they turn the tassel this coming spring, hopefully in person with family and friends, cross our fingers, they have until fall of 2022 to start using their 21st Century Scholarship before they lose it. We know some students take a year off just to rest, which I don't recommend. Some students take a year off to work and save more money. But again, they have to access their 21st Century Scholarship within 1 year of graduating from high school, okay? So in order to maintain their scholarship, so parents, once your son or daughter again turns their high school tassel and they have gone away at college. So again, what do they have to do? Even once they go off to college, parents, you still have to complete that FAFSA every year that they're at school. Again, that is a government document that has to be filled out every year by that April 15 deadline. And again, the earlier, the better. And remember, you can, once it opens in October, is when you can start completing that FAFSA for your son or daughter. Be enrolled as a full-time student at an eligible college or university. And again, parents, let me go over that, and also for students that are on here as well. Full-time student is basically 12 credit hours. And so generally in college, guys, each class is worth 3 credit hours. So you take 3 times 4, you get your 12. But with 21st Century Scholars, we're talking about 15 to finish. So basically you're taking 15 credit hours, your that fall semester, 15 credit hours, that spring semester. So at the end of every year, you have 30 credit hours, okay? So again, 15 to finish. And you have to stay on track with that with 21st Century Scholars to maintain your scholarship award. So again, we're talking about 3 credit hours to get to that 15. So you're talking about at least 5 classes per semester to stay on track for graduation, and not only graduation, but also to maintain eligibility for your scholarship. And progress, what we call SAP. And so for students that are on here, what colleges and universities do, let's just say it is a first semester of your sophomore year. And let's just say you're at Indiana State. And let's just say you had a poor semester, okay? So Indiana State will send, let's just say Michael, a letter that says, hey, Michael, we're noticing that you're not doing well. We're going to give you another semester to bring your grades up, okay? So let's just say in January, when Michael goes back to Indiana State, he has another bad semester, okay? Indiana State's going to send Michael another letter that says, you know what, Michael, it's been good knowing you, but we're going to need you to go home, okay? Students, that does happen. So again, we want to make sure that you are maintaining good, satisfactory academic progress with 21st Century Scholars as well. And again, I went over the 30 plus credit hours a year. So again, you want to have that 15 in the fall semester and that 15 in the spring semester. And maintain Indiana must live within the state lines of Indiana. Now, parents, if you guys want to go bye-bye while they're in college, that's absolutely fine. But again, the student must maintain Indiana residency in order to maintain their 21st Century Scholar Award. And also complete the Scholar Success Program as well while they're at college. And so I touched on this earlier when I mentioned the Scholar Success Program. So parents, basically once your child is eligible for 21st Century Scholars and they get their congratulations that they're in the program, the work for your students starts when they get to high school. So basically, if you guys are going to be Warren Central Warriors, which is absolutely fine. I'm a Ben Davis Giant myself. But these are the things that your child has to complete once they get to the high school. So again, their freshman year, they're creating a graduation plan. They're participating in extracurricular service or activity. And parents, that does not have to be sports. That could be a club. That could be something they do in their church. It could be something that they do in the community. Watch Paying for College 101. So again, your child, along with their guidance counselor, because 9 times out of 10, there will be someone at the high school that is over 21st Century Scholar students at the high school to make sure these tasks inside their Scholar Track account get done. But parents, let's just say your child is a senior and they have not done Get Workplace Experience their sophomore year. That's absolutely fine. They can go back and do things that they have missed in previous years and it still be counted toward their Scholar Track account. It's just that all the activities listed here have to be completed before your child turns the tassel their senior year. So again, more than likely, a lot of the things on here, the high school covers anyway, but all these activities must be done in your child's Scholar Track account to be eligible for their scholarship once they graduate from high school. parents know that there are income guidelines for 21st Century Scholars. You can see the income guidelines here, so you can see that yourself to see if you qualify or not. But parents, let me say this, even if you do not qualify now, if you're looking at this and you say, oh, we don't qualify, parents, please, especially if your child is a 7th grader or even an 8th grader, please go ahead and fill out the application anyway and get the no now. And the reason I say that is because there is an appeal process for 21st Century Scholars. And let's set us, okay, i.e. COVID-19, okay? So you're going about life minding your own business and COVID-19 hits, okay? We just had a parent who is now a single mom because she lost her husband to COVID-19. Previously in her child's 7th grade year, she was denied 21st Century Scholars, but she went through the appeal process with the appropriate information, and now her child is a 21st Century Scholar. So again, even parents, if you're looking at this now and you know you do not qualify for the program, go ahead and fill it out anyway. Again, if something unfortunate happens down the line in your family to where your income does change, again, that is appeal process that is looked at on a case-by-case basis through the Commission for Higher Education. In the Achieves, we do not have any bearings on the decisions that are made, but again, Commission for Higher Education is usually very fair in their appeal process. Also for this, if your child is if you have a child that is in the foster care system, even past their 8th grade year, they can still apply and be accepted into the 21st Century Scholars Program. So you are a parent and you're also taking care of your niece, nephew, granddaughter, grandson, and you have the legal paperwork from the courts showing that you have legal guardianship, the income guidelines do not apply to you. Now, it just cannot be, oh, my grandson lives with me, let me apply for him. For this, for legal guardianship, you do have to have that court documentation showing that. And once again, with that, the income guidelines do not apply to you if you are legal guardianship of a child. Applying for 21st Century Scholars is as easy as ever. So basically, parents, from the comfort of your home, from the comfort of your phone, all you have to do is text the word college or Universidad for our Spanish-speaking families to 40458. With that, once you send that text message, the application for 21st Century Scholars will come right back to your cell phone, and you can complete the application right from your cell phone. The only thing you need for this is your child's Social Security number. And so with that, that's the only thing that you have to have for this application in order to move on. Because without the child's Social Security number, it will not let you progress in the application. So with that said, for 21st Century Scholars, the child must have a Social Security number. If the parent does not have a Social Security number, that's okay. But parents, if you do have a social, please make sure you put that on the application, because that does slow down the application process if you indicate that you do have a Social Security number, but you do not indicate it. And so also, once you guys log in, because we do use a secure site called DocuSign. So with that, I can literally see once parents go in and start creating or completing their 21st Century Scholars application. Once you guys hit submit, the email comes to me again that you have submitted your application securely through DocuSign. And parents, I don't know if you have rented a house lately or bought a house or a car, more than likely you probably signed something through DocuSign. So again, it's a very secure site that you go on to complete your application. So once again, one thing you must have is your child's Social Security number. But again, the parent does not have to have a Social Security number in order to apply. So parents, once you log in on the second page, parent, one thing I do want to reiterate to parents is that, remember, this is a program based on household size. So if you indicate that there are 4 people in your household, please, on that second page, make sure you indicate everyone's name in the household. So again, if you're applying for your son, that's one person. And again, your name will go on the parent information. And then you're going to list everyone else in the household as well, even if they're children. But if they're an adult in the household, they will be listed as well, again, with any income tied to them. But again, even if they're babies, if they're 1-month-old children or babies, please make sure everyone's name is listed on the application when you get to that second part, for the